video you have learnt about the kingdom Monera. So kingdom Monera, the examples of the bacteria are given in the textbook. You can follow those, you can see the pictures of all the bacteria which are shown there, or even you can find out from the internet what are the different species of bacteria. There are millions of species of bacteria itself. Now we are talking about the kingdom Protista. Now the kingdom Protista, in your textbook again there is one activity to prepare the slide of the organism of the kingdom Protista, and here the simple one, that is amoeba, the slide of amoeba is asked to be made. Now here you are supposed to take the pond water, and this pond water, take a drop of it on the slide. You will be able to see what is slide and cover slip only when you see on the internet. I am going to send you some videos how to prepare these slides of the bacterium or the amoeba. Fine. So you can have a look at how to prepare them. So till then you now understand what are the characteristics of the kingdom Protista. Now yesterday we have learned about the complexity of the cell structure, the criteria of the 5 kingdom classifications. In that you have learned about the complexity of the organism, that is unicellular or multicellular. So unicellular, you are already aware now, they are single celled organisms, and complexity of the cell structure, in that we have learned whether they are prokaryotic or eukaryotic, and under the classification we have learned that Protista belongs to eukaryotic, that is they are having the true nucleus, that is the nucleus with a well defined nuclear membrane, and even other cell organelles have their own cell membranes. Next is how they are locomoting. Locomotion means how they are moving from one place to another. So they have different structures for them to move. It is not like how we have our legs to walk. The same way they are also having the structures to move from one place to another. So the first one is pseudopodia. If you take an example of amoeba, amoeba is irregular in shape, and why it is irregular in shape? It's because it has the presence of pseudopodia. Now this pseudopodia has two different words. Pseudo means false and podia means feet. So it is this is a Latin word. In science, mostly scientific terms, we are using the Latin language or the Greek language, because both of these languages are dead languages. Nobody uses them to speak anywhere in the whole world. So scientific community uses this language, and according to scientific Latin language, pseudo means false and podia means feet. So amoeba has false feet. If you see the structure of the amoeba, it is irregular in shape. It's just because of this structure called as pseudopodia, because it has the ability to change its shape. And since this feet, which can change and become like this, so that is why it is been called as pseudopodia, false feet. That means they do not have the true feet to walk. So pseudopodia, I hope so you have understood about what is pseudopodia and how is the locomotion in the case of amoeba. Next one we have cilia. Cilia is nothing but hair-like projections. This is also another word which you will be finding it the first time. So cilia means hair-like projection, and you might be aware of the microorganism called as paramecium. So this paramecium has the presence of cilia or hair-like projections outside. So if you see the structure of paramecium, it is like a slipper shape. Okay, and here are the cilia. So these structures are called as cilia. So they use this structure for locomotion. The next one is flagella. So here there is an example in Protista, that is Euglena. Euglena is somewhat like this. Okay, and they have the structure like this. So it looks like a whip. I hope so you must be knowing what is a whip. A whip means in Marathi we call it a chabuk. So it looks like a chabuk, or so in scientific terms we call it as whip flagella, or English we call it as whip. So this whip like structure helps them to move. So this is regarding how they are moving. That is, amoeba, and some are having pseudopodia, some are having cilia, some are having flagella for their locomotion. Next, let us talk about the mode of nutrition. Yesterday we have dealt with the one of the criteria, that is mode of nutrition, and mode of nutritions are either autotrophic. Auto means self preparing. So autotrophs are mostly photosynthetic in nature. That means they can prepare their own food. And we have again your Euglena and Volvox. Now the pictures are shown in your textbook. The diagrams are shown here. Now Euglena and Volvox was also included first in Thelophytes or the plant kingdom, because they have the chloroplast. But since many of the characteristics, that is, they are unicellular, and other characteristics like flagella or having pseudopodia and all those things, not pseudopodia, flagella, they are being kept in the kingdom Protista now. Volvox. Now here the structure of the Volvox, which is shown in the textbook, it is shown many cells are there. It's not looking like unicellular. But to tell you the fact about Volvox is that Volvox likes to stay in a company. So many cells come together to build one community, and so that community itself, one whole structure itself, is called as the Volvox. Otherwise they have single cells within them. So they like to live in a group. Next is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Amoeba, as you are aware now what is amoeba, and Paramecium are having heterotrophic mode of nutrition. That means they do not prepare their food, instead they absorb their food. I think you can see this pseudopodia of the amoeba. So whenever it has to engulf the food, food particle, if suppose comes in its way, then it will engulf this and change its shape to some other like this, and the pseudopodia will change like this. So this is how amoeba can take up its nutrition. Fine. So I hope so you have understood about the kingdom Protista. In the next video I am going to explain you about the kingdom Fungi. Thank you.